Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV in conjunction with Colfax High School presents Viking Pre-Game. A look at today's Colfax Vikings Girls Game. And now, Viking Pre-Game.
Good evening and welcome to the NLWN-TV studios. Rick Olson here, and tonight the 9-2 Viking girls are getting ready to get back into Dun St. Croix Conference action as they take on the 1-8 Elmwood Plum City Wolves. Now, coming up in this edition of Viking Pregame, we'll take a look at tonight's matchup between the Wolves and the Vikings. Then we'll get Coach Serrar's perspective on tonight's game in Coach's Corner. Following that, we'll send it out to Colfax High School, where we'll bring you all the play-by-play action of tonight's game. So it's time to get ready for some exciting high school girls basketball. All that coming up right after this brief timeout. You're tuned to Viking Pregame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network, NLWN-TV, and Viking TV.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Welcome back to Viking Pregame, where we're getting ready to bring you all the action of today's girls basketball game as the Colfax Vikings battle the Elmwood Plum City Wolves. The 9-2 Vikings are looking to stay amongst the leaders in the Dun St. Croix Conference and keep the winning going following Saturday's 63-51 win over the Hayward Hurricanes. Now, in the win over the Hurricanes, the Vikings started a little slowly, but then caught fire from the floor, hitting 5 3-pointers to open up a 39-20 halftime lead. In the second half, the Hurricanes picked up their defense and closed the Viking lead to as low as 8 points before the Vikings were able to hang on for the 63-51 win. Leading the way for the Vikings was the performance of 5'9" senior Ainsley Olson, who hit on 6 field goals, 3 of which were 3-pointers, and went 6 for 7 from the free throw line for a season-high total of 21 points. McKenna Shipman followed with 4 field goals, 2 of which were 3-pointers, and went 4 for 6 from the charity stripe for 14 points. Meanwhile, Jada Anderson hit 4 field goals and contributed 8 points. So far on the season, leading the way for the Vikings in scoring is McKenna Shipman, who is scoring nearly 17 points per game. She's followed by Jeanette Hajdukovic and Olson, who each contribute around 6 points per game. Now, the Elmwood Plum City Wolves are currently 1-8 on the season and 1-3 in the Dun St. Croix Conference. The Wolves last saw action on Thursday when they were defeated 37-34 by the Boyceville Bulldogs. The Wolves have been struggling at scoring but have been playing strong defense this season, which could present a challenge for the Vikings. Look for the Wolves to be led in scoring by senior guard Hannah Forster, who's putting up around 13 points per game. She's followed by Lily Webb, who's pitching in around 8 points per game. Haley Webb is adding another 4.5 points per game, while Allison Fleischhauer and Kenzie Bauer each add another 4. On the boards, the Elmwood Plum City Wolves are led by Hannah Forster, who's grabbing around 10 rebounds, while Isabella Forrester is pulling down another 4 per game. Now, thus far in the season, the Wolves are scoring an average of 38 points per game while giving up 42. Now, on the other hand, the Vikings are averaging 54 points per game while giving up 40. Coming up next, following this timeout, we'll get the coach's perspective as we chat with Viking head coach Courtney Serrar on Coach's Corner. You're tuned to Viking Pregame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network, NLWN-TV, and Viking TV.
Soon the weather will change and you'll be able to breathe in the clean fresh air of spring. And you know what comes right along with that. That's right, it will be time for Eau Claire Cavalier Baseball. Follow the Cavaliers all season long right here on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and NLWN-TV. Be sure to check out our website at www.northernlightwebcastingnetwork.com for our current broadcast schedule.
Time now to see what the coaches have to say. It's Coach's Corner, where they look at tonight's game from the coach's point of view. And now, Coach's Corner.
Once again on Coach's Corner, we're talking with Viking Girls head coach Courtney Serrar. And Coach, on Saturday, the Vikings took on the Hayward Hurricanes and rode a really hot first half to a 63-51 victory. Your thoughts about that game?
Yeah, I thought we played, really well at times. We did a good job, moving the ball and finding the open person. I thought we had a few too many turnovers late in the game where we were kind of careless, with the ball. But luckily, we had some kids knock down some shots, some timely shots when, we needed to, when Hayward kind of had all the momentum. And I was impressed with just, how we didn't panic really and give up. We just kind of hung with it, and even though we made some mistakes, we still held our heads high and kept our composure.
Now in that game, the Vikings were well in control until it seemed like Hayward picked up the pressure on the defense, which seemed to cause some of those ball handling and passing difficulties that you mentioned. What can the Vikings do to take care of that issue?
Yeah, we just talked about, I think we spent too much time looking, east-west instead of north-south. I thought there was a lot of gaps and opportunities where we just, I think we got a little worried about turning it over, and they were just trying to do a good job, and then that just kind of backfired a little bit. So, just continue to be strong with it, and pass fake is what I was telling the kids. If you sense, we talked a little bit about, you might think you're open, but it might be a hard angle for the kid with the ball to get it to you. So, just continue to move and find an open area and just be stronger with it. I thought we did a good job, distributing the ball and moving the ball around, but I don't think we were aggressive enough, and then eventually ended up turning it over. So I would have liked to see us a little bit more looking to get it to the hoop instead of just, kind of passing it around.
One of the things that we noticed, and I'm not a basketball player, and so correct me if I'm wrong here, but it seemed as if when the girls came across the timeline and Hayward would put the pressure on just as they came across the timeline, that they'd pick up their dribble, and that takes away options from them. And if they just can keep the dribble going, at least they have another option to use.
Yeah, and they had a super athletic kid at the top, of that 1-3-1, which, she could really jump, and she had long arms and was very athletic. So she made a lot of things happen for them. Like I said, I would have liked to see us, go around and be a little bit more assertive, but I think we were a little timid and, really didn't want to turn it over. So I think that hurt us a little bit.
Now, today, the Vikings get back into Dunn St. Croix Conference action, and they take on the 1-8 Elmwood Plum City Wolves. What can you tell us about the Wolves?
Yeah, they have some really athletic kids too. So, they consistently play a 2-3. So we're going to have to make sure, kind of like Saturday, that we move the ball around and continue to look more towards the hoop instead of, content passing it around on the outside. Take advantage of our, mismatches. I think, we have some height in certain areas. And then, we just need some kids to knock down some shots.
Now, it appears in just studying the numbers and so on that the Wolves play actually pretty tough defense in spite of their record. Their defense has been strong. Could this be a golden opportunity for the Vikings to work out those ball handling difficulties we were talking about?
Yeah, like I said, they do a good job on that 2-3. They practice it all the time, so they know, exactly, where to be and timing of different things. So, we'll just have to be aggressive and make sure that we make good decisions and try to limit turnovers.
Now, on Saturday, Molly Hydorn did not play against Hayward due to an ankle injury. How's Molly coming along, and are there any other injuries to the Vikings?
Yeah, Molly's still, an important piece to the puzzle, so that we're hoping that, that she can play. It's a game time decision. We're just going to kind of see, how she's feeling. We don't want to send her back too early and then have, an even worse injury. So otherwise we're healthy besides that. So, and I think Molly is going to be fine. She just, we just want to make sure that she's 100% before we, stick her back in the game.
Well, Coach Sarrar, good luck on tonight's game. Hopefully the Vikings can stay right on that winning track.
Thank you.
You've been listening to Coach's Corner, with a look at tonight's game from the coach's point of view. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. He's here. He's here. Wait. What? I can't drive. Why? My. Oh.
Welcome back to Viking Pregame. The 9-2 Vikings are looking to get back into the Dunn St. Croix Conference action as they prepare to take on the Elmwood Plum City Wolves. The Wolves have been playing good defense this season and would like to prove that they're better than their 1-8 record would indicate. And who better than to do that than the Vikings? Now, these two teams met last year and the Vikings swept the series. In fact, the Vikings have won every matchup with the Wolves since Elmwood and Plum City combined their teams to create the Wolves. The Wolves would like nothing better than to break the Viking streak. So the stage is set for some exciting girls high school basketball, and we'll have all the action for you right here on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. So in just a moment, we'll send it out to Colfax High School, where our broadcast crew will bring you all the action of tonight's girls game between the Colfax Vikings and the Elmwood Plum City Wolves. You've been tuned to Viking Pregame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network, NLWN-TV, and Viking TV.
The Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-2 are proud to announce that this spring they will be your viewing home for Eau Claire Cowboys football. Check out www.northernlightwebcastingnetwork.com for times and dates. That's Eau Claire Cowboy football on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-2.
You've been tuned to Viking Pregame with a look at today's Colfax Vikings girls game. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Stay tuned. Coming up next is live Colfax Viking basketball.
It happens to everyone eventually. Your computer goes on the fritz. Fear not, Sladen's Technology Services can help. When your computer decides to not cooperate, it can be very frustrating. Let Sladen's Technology Services keep you from wanting to drive your computer right off a cliff. Sladen's Technology Services supports business of all sizes. They offer assistance with managed anti-malware, encrypted email, fast tech support, data backup, and recovery, and more. Call Sladen's Technology Services at 715-864-2833 and get the IT help you desire. Sladen's Technology Services is the official IT service for the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
Colfax Viking basketball is on the air.
And the long pass down and in by Hajdukovic.
The Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV proudly presents tonight's Colfax Viking girls varsity basketball game.
Long pass down the floor to Olsen. She stops, puts it up, she hit it!
Join us as we head out to the gym for tonight's Viking basketball.
This gets it over to the left side to Shipman, three-pointer. She hit it! McKenna Shipman with the three puts the Vikings on top 3-2. Good evening and welcome to Colfax High School. Rick Olson here along with Dan Petchow, Jeff Gust on the camera. And that really is his name, Jeff Gust, in spite of what you might have heard last night. And so We're ready to bring you all the action of tonight's game between the Colfax Vikings and the Elmwood Plum City Wolves. In tonight's GV game, the Vikings emerged victorious, 56-14. And I know the varsity is hoping to do something similar in the varsity game, and that'll be coming up in just a couple of minutes. Vikings come into tonight's game with a record of 9-2. And I had the Wolves record not too long ago, but I lost track of it. But anyway, 1-8. That's what it is. They're 1-8. The brain might be old, Dan, but it's coming around, you know.
Just give it a few minutes.
That's right.
It's all there.
Yeah, just some of it doesn't function anymore. I'll tell you what, Dan, why don't you let us know who's going to play in tonight's game?
Yeah, here's the starters for the Elmwood Plum City Wolves. They're going to go with senior guard number 1, Allison Fleischauer. Sophomore forward number 3, Haley Webb. Senior guard number 10, Isabella Forster. Senior guard number 12, Hannah Forster. And senior guard number 14, Lily Webb. For the Colfax Vikings, they're going to go with 5'6" senior number 10, Molly Hydorn. 5'9" senior number 14, Ainsley Olson. 5'7" junior number 32, Jada Anderson. 5'10" junior number 40, Jeanette Hajdukovic. And 5'7" junior number 42, McKenna Shipman.
It's good to see Molly Hydorn back into the lineup after missing the game up in Hayward due to a turned ankle that she had suffered in the game against Elk Mound last Thursday.
Yeah, good job by Kason Goodell stepping in for her and playing that game, get some points for Colfax.
And the Vikings do have some things to work on. In that game against Hayward, they had really good control of that game in the first half, and then Hayward switched up their defense a little bit, brought a lot of pressure, picked up the Vikings right as they came across the timeline, and that caused some problems for the Vikings on offense, and they're going to have to work on that, like maybe not pick up their dribble as soon as they come across the timeline. And because you know that other teams, they watch our coverage, they watch other coverage of Viking basketball, and as Coach Sarar has said many, many times, teams bring their A game when they play the Vikings because the Vikings have quite a reputation. I'll tell you what, Dan, we've got a little bit of time before the start of this game. Why don't we take a brief timeout and get some words from our sponsors? You're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV and Viking TV.
January is Financial Wellness Month. Weight loss and physical fitness are common New Year's resolutions, but your finances could probably stand to be leaner as well. Dairy State Bank will post tips all month on Facebook and Twitter to help you get your finances in shape. You can also access a library of information anytime in our online education center. Visit DairyStateBank.com and click on the Education Center under the Resources tab. Dairy State Bank, banking on relationships. Member FDIC.
Are your animals feeling a little under the weather? Give the nice folks at Colfax Animal Hospital a call. Bruce Buckley is just what the doctor ordered it. In fact, he is the doctor, and he's ready to help. That's the Colfax Animal Hospital. Give them a call at 715-962-3380. And we're going to send it right down to the scorer's table for the national anthem.
As the national anthem is sung by high school sophomore Lydia Okazaki.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. O'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streamed, and the rockets' bright glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
And that was our national anthem, and now we'll send it right back down for the starting lineups.
Welcome to Colfax High School for tonight's Johnson Roy girls basketball matchup between the Elmwood Plum City Wolves and your Colfax Vikings. Introducing the starters for the Wolves. Number 1, a senior, Allison Fleischauer. Number 3, a sophomore, Haley Webb. Number 10, a senior, Isabella Forster. Number 12, a senior, Hannah Forster. And number 14, a senior, Lily Webb. The Wolves are led by Coach Paige Sandberg. And now, the starting lineup for your Colfax Vikings. Senior, Molly Tyler. Number 14, senior, Ainsley Olsen. Number 32, junior, Jada Anderson. Number 40, junior, Jeanette Ayukovich. Number 32, junior, Hannah Shipman.
And that's the starting lineups for both the Vikings and the Wolves. Those again, we will have for the Wolves, Fleischauer, Webb, Forster, and Lily Webb. We have 2 Webbs and 2 Forsters out there, Dan. That's going to be kind of confusing. And then for the Vikings, it's the usual, Hydorn, Olsen, Anderson, Hajdukovic, and Shipman.
Yeah, just think if they're all on the court at the same time. 2 Forsters, 2 Webbs.
That's what we got. So we've got Haley and Lily, those are the Webbs. Isabella and Hannah, those are the Forsters. Ainsley Olsen to jump center for the Vikings. And she's going to be tipping it off against Hannah Forster. Official steps in, ball goes up. Tip is controlled by the Vikings. Hydorn has it. And she comes across the timeline. Taking it over to the left side to Shipman. High on the left wing. To Hajdukovic at the top of the key to Olsen in the lane. Puts it up. No. Rebound by Hajdukovic. She puts it up. No, it won't go down. And down with the rebound come the Wolves. This is Lily with it. Lily Webb. She gets it over to Isabella Forster. To Fleischauer. Then out to Hannah Forster. And Isabella Forster. Jump shot by Hannah is up no good. Rebound taken away by Anderson for the Vikings. She comes down the right side, feeds it back out to Hydorn, takes it to the free throw lane, into the lane, to Hajdukovic out on the perimeter, to Olsen at the top of the key, to Hydorn on the left. Pass to Anderson, kind of got away from her, but she picked it up. Over to Hajdukovic, top of the key, gets it over to Hydorn. Hydorn at the free throw line, takes it into the lane to Olsen on the perimeter. Drives to the free throw line, hands it off to Hajdukovic. She's at the elbow on the left side. Out to Anderson, then over to the right side to Hydorn. Over to Shipman from the top of the key. Shot is no good. Rebound taken away by Elmwood Plum City. Lily Webb hands it off to Fleischauer. Back out high. This is to Hannah Forrester, to Isabella Forrester, then to Hannah. And she gets fouled as she tries to drive the baseline. I think it's going to be on Olsen. It is. First foul on anyone. Lily Webb to inbound for the Wolves. She gets it into Isabella Forrester. Out on the right side. Gets it out high on the right side to Fleischauer. Fleischauer comes around to the left. Gets it to Lily Webb. Then to Forrester. Then to the other Forrester. That was Isabella. To Fleischauer in the lane. Shot goes up no good. Rebound taken down by Isabella Forrester. She hands it off to Hannah Forrester, who kicks it out to Fleischauer, and we have a timeout being called by Elmwood Plum City. I don't think she wanted the timeout. She was telling them to spread out. And I'll tell you what, Dan, we heard the JV coach do the same thing, and we thought she called timeout, and so it was inadvertent. There was not a timeout called. So the Wolves inbound it. They get it out high between the circles to Fleischauer. And to Haley Webb. Then driving down the baseline, shot goes up, is no good. Rebound taken down by Lily Webb, and ball gets knocked away, and the Vikings come away with it. Hydorn with it. Takes it right into the lane. Kicks it out to Anderson on the right side. Out to Olsen at the top of the key. Feeds it into the lane to Shipman. Turnaround jumper, no good. Hajdukovic tries to go back up with it and got fouled. Fouled by Haley Webb. Not a shooting foul, so the Vikings will inbound it. First foul on Webb, first team foul. Three-pointer on the way, and she hit the three. McKenna Shipman with the three, and Vikings draw first blood. Lily Webb with it. Gets tied up. We got a whistle, jump ball. Webb tried to get it over to Isabella Forrester, and Jada Anderson had none of that. Got her hands in there, tied everything up, and a jump ball is called. Inbound pass to Hannah Forrester. Over to Fleischauer. To Isabella Forrester. Over to Haley Webb. Then down into the corner. Now Lily Webb, and she took an extra step before she put the ball on the floor. Traveling is the call, and the Vikings have the ball. Hydorn with it. Right through the capital C. Feeding it off to the right side to Shipman. Over to Hydorn, three-pointer from the left side, off the iron, no good, but she got fouled. Fouled by Lily Webb, and Hydorn is going to go to the line for three. That's the second team foul on the Wolves, first foul on Lily Webb. Molly Hydorn at the line. First shot is up and good. Second shot, no good. And now she gets the third. Shot goes up, it's good. 5-0, Vikings on top. Inbound pass, and they knock it out of bounds. Vikings knock it out of bounds off the hands of Olsen. Wolves have it. Fleischauer on the dribble. Ball goes off her foot into the forecourt, and trying to lay it up and in is Haley Webb, but she got fouled going up, and it's on Hajdukovic. That'll be the first foul on Jeanette Hajdukovic, and second team foul on the Vikings. Haley Webb at the line for 2. Slight delay while we have a shoe getting tied by Fleischauer. First shot is up and no good by Haley Webb. Second shot, no good. Rebound taken away by Shipman to Hydorn. Hydorn quickly down the floor across the timeline between the circles. Feeds it over to the left side to Anderson. Anderson back out high to Hydorn. Into the lane to Hajdukovic. Hajdukovic tries to go up with it. She got fouled, and she's going to go to the line for 2. I think the foul's on Hannah Forrester. It is. Third foul on the Wolves. First on Forrester. Hajdukovic's first shot is up and in. Into the lineup for the Vikings is Kaysen Goodell, giving Anderson a break. Nigaman waiting. Second shot up, no good. Rebound, tip back. Shipman with the rebound. And Hydorn has it at the top of the key, gets it over to Shipman. Three-pointer on the way, no good. Rebound being chased down, picked up by Shipman. Crossover to Olsen, who lays it up and in. 8-0, Vikings on top. Fleischauer over to Lily Webb, and then they get it to Isabella Forrester, and we're going to get a whistle. And it's going to be a foul. It's a foul on Isabella Forrester.
Yeah, away from the play.
They called her for a push. That's a second foul on Isabella, fourth foul on the Wolves, and the Vikings have it. Hydorn with it. Nigaman into the lineup. She has it in the lane. Thought Olsen was going to break to the outside, and Olsen broke toward the basket, and the ball ended up going out of bounds. Wolves have it. Hannah Forrester gets it over to Fleischauer, and she lost the handle of the ball. It went out of bounds. Oh, they're going to say it was touched by Shipman. Lily Webb to inbound. Gets it over to Hannah. Crosses the timeline. Closely guarded by Nigaman. To Fleischauer. Then over to Kenzie Bauer, who's into the lineup for the Wolves. Then to Webb, puts a shot up. It's partially blocked. Olsen comes away with it. And Hydorn down the floor. Takes it to the right side. To Goodell. Back to Hydorn. To Goodell on the right. Way out on the right wing. Gets it to Olsen on the right baseline. She dribbles back out. Gets it to Hydorn. To Shipman from 3. She hit the 3! 11-0, Vikings on top. Wolves have it in the backcourt. Lily Webb on the dribble. Gets it to Hannah Forrester. Ball gets knocked away. Hannah retrieves it. And we have a timeout called by the Wolves. And 12:26 remaining. Vikings 11, Wolves nothing. And you're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network, NLWN-TV and Viking TV.
When you have that craving for a home-cooked meal the way Mom used to make it, rest assured, you can still get that meal by going to Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax. Mom's is open daily, serving breakfast and lunch, and don't forget dinner on Friday nights with Mom's famous fish fry. The coffee is always hot, the breakfast is always delicious, and lunch will put a smile on your face and in your stomach. 225 Bremer Avenue, Colfax. Call 715-962-4617. That's Mom's Restaurant and Pub.
To get your lawn or garden to perform like you want, you first need to know about your soil. That's where Midwest Environmental Consultants can help. Their soil testing service can give you a complete rundown on your soil's nutrition and health. They test for nitrogen levels, phosphorus, potash, micronutrients, minerals, pH, and organic matter. Let Midwest Environmental Consultants put you in control of your soil's health. Call Midwest Environmental Consultants at 608-468-2067. That's Midwest Environmental Consultants, soil testers for the Chippewa Valley.
Wolves have the ball at the top of the key. This is Hannah Forster, takes it into the lane, turnaround jumper. It's up, no good. Rebound taken away by the Wolves. They get it out to Fleischauer, puts up a three. It's no good and out of bounds. Haley Webb tried to save it, but she had already stepped out of bounds before she jumped up to tap it back in. And so the Vikings bring it down the floor. Bovey into the game for the Vikings. This is J.C. Bovey. Feeding it over to Keltner, then back out to Bovey. Now Keltner's got a three-pointer on the way, no good. Rebound taken down by the Wolves. Feeding it down the floor. Bovey gets a hand on it, and collision. Ball goes out of bounds. Last touched by the Wolves. Dan, you ought to like that. That looked like hockey.
Yeah, that was a good check. And there was no whistle.
So the Vikings have it. Keltner out to Bovey, over to Goodell, into the lane to Shipman, back out to Goodell, over to Bovey at the top of the key, to Shipman in the lane, over to Keltner on the right side, to the free throw line, to Goodell, three-pointer on the way, no good. Rebound knocked out of bounds, last touched by the Wolves. It was last touched by Lily Webb. And she goes and takes a break while Isabella Forrester comes back in. Vikings inbounded, goes over to Keltner on the left side. She drives to the lane and she gets tied up. Possession arrow in favor of the Vikings. Goodell with it, gets it to Shipman, tries to square up for a shot. Ball got knocked loose, but the Vikings got it back. Shipman has it at the elbow, gets it over to Keltner, and back out between the circles to Bovey, to Goodell, into the lane to Nigaman, and she put it up and in. Wolves with it. This is Hannah Forrester on the dribble, still in the backcourt, now crosses into the forecourt. Ball gets knocked away, being chased after, and we're going to get a jump ball called. Possession arrow in favor of the Wolves. Olsen into the lineup for Keltner. 13-0, Vikings on top, 10:46 to go. Down the floor come the Wolves. This is Fleischauer at the top of the key. Gets it over to Hannah Forrester. Then to Isabella Forrester over on the right side. She's on the right wing. To Hannah. Circling back around to the top of the key. Takes it into the lane. Puts a shot up. It's partially blocked, but they're going to say Shipman got her. Yeah, they're going to say Shipman got her on the block. That's the first foul on McKenna Shipman. Third foul on the Vikings. First shot is on the way, and it goes in. Hannah Forrester gets the first point of the night for the Elmwood Plum City Wolves. Second shot on the way. It's also good. And into the lineup for the Wolves is Lily Webb, giving Forrester a break. Vikings bring the ball down the floor. Bovey on the dribble. Between the circles. Feeds it over to the left side, and the pass was a little bit wide of Hajdukovic. So the Wolves have it. Fleischauer in the backcourt, being guarded by Nigaman. Passes over to the right side to Webb, and the pass got away and out of bounds. Fleischauer stepped out of bounds before she tapped it back in. So the Vikings bring it back down the floor with Bovey on the dribble. Bovee at the top of the key, now to the free throw line, gets it out to Olsen. Olsen out on the perimeter, drives down to the lane, kicks it out to the left side. Two-pointer up and in by Nigaman. 15-2, Vikings on top. This is Bauer on the dribble. She feeds it into the lane to Webb, and they're saying it was knocked out of bounds by the Vikings. Partially blocked shot. Wolves inbound it to Webb, and as she tries to go up, she got fouled. Foul's going to be on Anderson. It'll be her fourth team foul. Tell you what, Dan, I see the boys over there on the other side doing the Viking Skol chant. First free throw is up and good by Webb.
They're on the wrong side of the border.
For that Viking chant, maybe. Second shot is up. It's off the iron, no good. Nigaman chases it down. Gets it to Bovee, who brings it down across the floor. Across the timeline, anyway. She gets it over to Olsen. Back out to Bovee between the circles. Ball rolls off her fingertips. Now she's in trouble. Feeds it to Anderson, who lays it up and in. She found Anderson cutting into the lane, and Anderson laid it up and in for a 17-3 Viking lead. Fleischauer across the timeline, quickly down the floor. Hajdukovic made her turn back and kicked it out to Isabella. Now driving the baseline is Isabella, and she had nowhere to go with it and went out of bounds. Hit the floor kind of hard. She's just mad. The official tried to offer some help, and she wanted none of it.
Yeah, just ran out of real estate down there on the baseline.
Heidorn back into the lineup for the Vikings, and she comes across the timeline. Heidorn at the top of the key. Gets it over to Shipman on the right side. Back out high to Heidorn. To Anderson on the left, back to Heidorn. Heidorn feeds it into the lane to Hajdukovic. Kicks it back out to Shipman, puts up the shot, no good. Rebound chased down by Hannah Forrester. Hannah across the timeline, between the circles. Feeds it over to Fleischauer. Fleischauer loses the handle, and they're going to call her for traveling. They're coming up off a knee. She went down to a knee to regain possession. When she stood back up, that's a travel. Heidorn across the timeline on the right side. Gets it to Shipman. Passes. She was trying to do almost like an alley-oop pass that time to Hajdukovic, but just kind of missed connection. So the Wolves with it. Vikings putting some pressure on. Isabella Forrester with it. In the backcourt, guarded by Olsen. Come across the timeline. Feeds it over to the right side to Hannah. Hannah Forrester drives down the right side, gets it out to Isabella, and they're going to call her for a double dribble. You can see a look of frustration on Isabella Forrester's face. That's 2 straight times down the floor where she's turned the ball over. Shipman puts up a three. She hit the three! 20-3, the Vikings ahead with 7:16 to go in the first half. Fleischauer in the backcourt, on the dribble. Feeds it over to the left side. This is Hannah Forrester. And gets it to Bauer. Over to Webb. Ball gets tipped around. Bauer chases it down in the right corner. She comes out high. Drives into the lane, loses the handle, and Anderson comes away with it. Feeds it to Olsen, stops, puts it up, no. Rebound being fought for. We're going to get a jump ball. Possession arrow in favor of the Vikings. Haley Webb into the lineup for the Wolves. Fleischauer takes a break. Anderson gets it into Shipman. High, wide, and right. Takes it into the lane. Kicks it out to Anderson on the right side. To between the circles to Hydorn. Hydorn backs up a little. Gets it to Olsen. Favoring the left side. Feeds it into the lane to Anderson. A hand got in there, but Shipman has it. Puts the shot up. It's no good. Shipman gets the putback, and she got it to fall. McKenna Shipman sticking with it. Inbound pass stolen by Hydorn. Vikings with it. Hydorn has it. Feeding it underneath. Too high for Olsen. It goes out of bounds, and the Wolves will have it. 22-3. Vikings on top with 6:04 to go. And we have a timeout on the floor. 22-3, Vikings on top, and you're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network, NLWN-TV, and Viking TV.
Anderson Bridges, located in Colfax, Wisconsin, has been manufacturing prefabricated steel truss bridges since 1989. With hundreds of bridges supplied nationwide, we suspect you've crossed our path. It may have been on a pedestrian or bicycle bridge, or how about a snowmobile, ATV, or golf course bridge? Anderson Bridges is likely to have manufactured it. Founded in 1989, Anderson Bridges has been a family-owned company since its beginning and are proud to support the Colfax Vikings.
Back here at Colfax High School, Rick Olson along with Dan Petchow, Jeff Gust on the camera. And the Wolves are going to inbound the ball. Vikings on top, 22-3. Down across the timeline to Hannah. She puts it up, it's no good. And we're going to get a traveling call on Anderson. And she got the rebound, and in the process of turning around, she dragged that pivot foot. Wolves inbound it. This is Webb, Lily Webb. Gets it out to Hannah Forrester on the left side. Takes it to the free throw line, feeds it to Isabella, puts a shot up, does not get it to go. Now they get it back out, and this is Hannah. She gets it over to Lily Webb. And into the lane, and the Vikings come away with it. Shipman coming down the left side, stops, thought about the three, gives it to Hydorn. She puts up the three, no good. Rebound taken away by Lily Webb. Feeds it over to Hannah Forrester at the free throw line, takes it into the lane, circles around, comes back out. Over to Isabella. Isabella Forrester now tries to feed it in, ball gets tipped, Vikings come away with it. Shipman down the floor on the right side, takes it into the lane, lays it up, it doesn't go, but she got fouled. McKenna Shipman to go to the line. And the foul is going to be on Kenzie Bauer. It's her first 15 foul. Shipman at the line for two. First shot is up and no good. Goodell and Bovey and Nigaman into the lineup for the Vikings. Second shot is up and good. That's an even dozen points for Shipman tonight. We're still in the first half with 4:48 to go. Isabella Forrester gets it over to Fleischauer. Takes it between the circles over to the left side. To Haley, or check that, Faith Whitty. Back to Fleischauer. To Hannah Forrester. Hannah Forrester at the free throw line, spins, drives into the lane, puts it up, no good. Rebound taken down by Shipman. She's double teamed, and we're going to get a foul called. It'll be the sixth foul on the Wolves, and that's going to be a foul on Hannah Forrester. It's her second. Bovey across the timeline for the Vikings. Feeding it over to the left side. Driving into the lane. Can't quite control it, but the Vikings pick it up. Nigaman takes it down the paint and lays it up and in. That's 6 points for Autumn Nigaman. And down the floor come the Wolves. Shot goes up, no good by Hannah Forrester. Shipman's right back down the floor, takes it to the lane, lays it up and puts it in. A coast-to-coast run by McKenna Shipman. 27-3, Vikings on top. Isabella over to Hannah, back to Isabella, puts a shot up, no good. Rebound taken down by Anderson, and she gets it over to Bovey, and down the floor come the Vikings. Over to Anderson, to Nigaman on the right side. Feeds it down to the right baseline to Goodell. Back out to Nigaman. To Anderson at the top of the key. She feeds it over to Bovey, back out to Goodell. Goodell drives into the lane, and she got fouled. And the foul's going to be on Isabella Forrester. That's going to be foul number 7. So that should put Goodell to the line for the 1-on-1. That's a third foul on Forrester. First shot is on the way. It's good. Second shot on the way. It's also good. 29-3, Vikings on top. Down the floor come the Wolves, and they lose the handle on it. Goodell with it, taking it down the left side, spins back, gets it to Shipman. She hit another 3. 17 first half points, 4 of them on three-pointers. Feed it into the lane, shot goes up, it goes off the front of the iron by Webb. That was Lily Webb on the shot. And Vikings come away with it. Bovey at the top of the key, feeds to Nigaman, lays it up, no good. Rebound taken down by the Wolves. Down the floor they come to Fleischauer, to Forrester, puts up the shot, no good. Anderson on the dribble, picks up her dribble, gets it over to Shipman. Shipman taking it over to the right side to Anderson. Anderson takes it back toward the lane, kicks it back out to Shipman. Shipman with another three-pointer, and it goes! 5 3-pointers for Shipman. She's got 20 points in the first half. Down the floor, the Wolves have it. Lily Webb gets it over to Hannah Forrester. Takes it over to the right side. Drives down toward the baseline. Shot gets blocked by Shipman. Goodell comes away with it. Takes it down over to the left side. Feeds it over to Shipman. She puts up another one. No, it's no good. Rebound taken down by the Wolves. And the lead pass is just a little bit too far. It'll be Viking ball. Anderson with it. Gets it to Bovey. Bovey right through the big C. Feed it over to the right side to Goodell. Now back to Anderson between the circles. Anderson over to the left side to Shipman. Back to Bovey. To Goodell, high, wide, and right. To Shipman between the circles. Vikings running clock here. Working for the last shot. Bovey to Shipman on the left. Back out high to Nigaman. 37 seconds. Anderson on the left side. To between the circles to Goodell. Back to the left side to Shipman. To Nigaman. Kind of favoring the right side, but she takes it right back between the circles. 20 seconds to go. To Goodell. to Bovey. 13 seconds. She comes down the right side, feeds into the lane to Nigaman. She lays it up and in. 8 points for Autumn Nigaman. Quickly down the floor, long shot, no good, and we've reached halftime. So the score at halftime, Vikings 37 and the Elmwood Plum City Wolves 3. And we have Viking halftime coming right up. We'll be learning about Bryn Sikora at halftime during the Viking profile, and that's all coming up right after this timeout. You're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Feel the beat of nature at a park or forest near you. Find a forest and music inspired by nature at discovertheforest.org.
Time now for Viking halftime, with today's Viking profile and other halftime entertainment. That's coming up right after this.
Time now for Viking Profile, where we take a closer look at one of the Colfax Viking players. And now, Viking Profile.
Today on Viking Profile, we're going to get to know Bryn Sikora, who is a freshman here at Colfax High School. Now, Bryn, we know that you play basketball, but are you involved in any other activities at school?
Softball and volleyball.
Okay, and how has that been for you this year?
Really good, actually.
You had a good volleyball season, had fun?
Yes.
Okay. So, when did you start playing basketball? What kind of experience has it been for you?
I started playing in 2nd grade, and I played up with the 3rd graders, and it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it.
All right, now what's the most important thing that you've learned playing basketball?
Just always be coachable, because you're going to have to adapt to other coaches. Not all coaches are the same.
And there's no one way to skin the cat. So if that coach has a plan, you gotta do what the coach says, or you're no use to that coach, right?
Right, exactly.
So when you're not playing basketball, you're not here at school, what are other things that keep you interested or occupied?
I do a lot of softball on my free time, or I'll hunt or stuff like that.
Okay. All right. Get out and active, right? Mm-hmm. All right. Some rapid fire questions for you. Pie, ice cream, cake, or cookies?
Ice cream.
Which flavor?
Cookies and cream.
Okay. That's a way to sneak the cookies in there. Way to go. Your favorite color and why?
Like a sage green color, because it's unique. I like it.
Okay. All right. Now, if you could have a superpower, what do you think that superpower would be?
Reading people's minds.
Oh, a mind reader. Okay. Now, if you have that ability to read minds, of course you have to have a superhero name to go with that. So, what's Bryn's superhero name?
Beast Mode Bryn.
Beast Mode Bryn. I like that. Okay. It also kind of gives a message as to what kind of game you're going to bring to the floor. All right. Do you have a favorite NBA or WNBA team?
No, I don't.
How about a college team?
No.
No? Is there a basketball player anywhere along in the past, at any age level or anything, who's kind of inspired the way you play?
Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan inspired an awful lot of people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. We're talking with Bryn Sikora today on Viking Profile. And Bryn, what are your plans for after high school? And bear in mind, you're free to change these plans.
Yeah, I want to go to a college down south somewhere and just, enjoy the warm weather. Maybe get a scholarship, hopefully, for some sport or some academic.
Okay. All right. Keep those academic scholarships in mind, too. They can be worth an awful lot. How about a shout-out to your family?
I love my family. They've always been there for me. They work a lot of extra hours for money to keep me occupied in sports.
Super. That's really awesome. When people come to watch Viking games, what number do you wear and where are they going to find you on the floor?
I don't really know what number I wear. I don't know yet, but I would like to wear number 7. On the floor, I would probably be a post player.
Okay. We want to thank Bryn Sikora for joining us today on Viking Profile. Now, coming up next is more Viking Halftime.
You've been listening to Viking Profile. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
If you're buzzed and doing this, to make yourself feel okay to drive,
ZWX.
you're not okay to drive.
YGKLVW. Regular you.
Let's go see your room.
That's not right. How is it? Is it good?
You've been tuned to Viking Halftime. Stay tuned. Coming up is second half action of today's Viking game on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
The family's visit to the forest inspired a beautiful question. Mother, mother, am I a tree? You tell me to stand tall. You tell me to stay rooted. I think I am a tree. My child, of course you are. But what kind of tree will you be? The kind to hug or the kind to climb? Doesn't matter what you choose, so long as you choose to be a tree that's kind.
Make the forest part of your story at a park near you. Find one at discovertheforest.org.
And welcome back to Colfax High School. Rick Olson along with Dan Petchow, Jeff Gust on the camera. And the Vikings have opened up a halftime lead of 37-3 with some outstanding offensive performances and some pretty tough in-your-face defense. Dan, I know the scoring for Elmwood Plum City is going to be pretty quick, but what do you have for the Vikings?
Yeah, here's the scores. Here's the scores for Elmwood Plum City. Their leading scorer is number 12. She's got 2 points. And number 3's got Haley Webb's got 1 point. They've made everything from the free throw line so far.
Right, nothing from the floor.
Right.
They've not scored a field goal yet tonight. All right, quickly, let's do the Vikings because we've got just a little bit of time before we start the second half.
All right. Leading scorer right now for Colfax, McKenna Shipman. She's got 20, followed by Autumn Nigeman with 8. And then we got a whole pile of girls. Casey Goodell, Molly Hydorn, Ainsley Olson, Jada Anderson with 2 points. And Jeanette Hajdukovic, she's got 1 free throw for 1 point.
Okay, but I suspect we're going to see some players that we don't normally see for quite a bit of time in this second half. Viking starters coming out on the floor to start the second half. That's pretty typical. Waiting for the Elmwood Plum City Wolves to come out. And looks to me like it's their starters as well. So it's Fleischauer, Webb, Forster, and Webb. And for the Vikings, Hydor and Olson, Anderson, Hajdukovic, and Shipman. Wolves have the ball. Fleischauer with it. Takes it over to the left side, feeds it into the lane. Shot goes up, and it goes in the hole. Haley Webb with a field goal. Down the floor comes Hydorn. Across the timeline. To Anderson. Long feed underneath to Hajdukovic. Her shot goes up. It doesn't go in, but she got fouled. She got fouled by Haley Webb.
Yeah, that's what Elmwood Plum City has to do on offense, is just attack that rim.
Hajdukovic makes her free throw. And now her second shot. It's on the way, off the back of the iron, no good. Plum City comes away, or Elmwood Plum City comes away with the rebound. Fleischauer with it between the circles. Takes it over to the right side to Hannah Forster at the top of the key. Getting it over to Lily Webb on the left side, to Fleischauer to the free throw line, to Haley Webb at the top of the key, chased down by Lily as it got knocked away. Lily tries to feed it into the lane. Olson comes away with the ball after it got tipped around. Hands it off to Hydorn, and they come down the floor. Hydorn feeds it off to the right side. Over to Anderson, back to Hydorn, to Shipman, to Olson from the free throw line. Shot's no good. Rebound by Hajdukovic, tries to hand it over to Olson. Now the ball's tied up, and we're going to get a jump ball called. It'll be Viking ball. Viking girls being a little bit too unselfish there. Inbound pass to Hajdukovic. She can't get her hands on it, and we get another jump ball. This time it'll be the Wolves ball. And Fleischauer with it. And down the floor she comes. Taking it over to the left side. Still on the dribble. Feeds it back out high to Forster. Now to the other Forster. Now back to the first Forster. Now back out to Isabella. And to Fleischauer. To Hannah Forster. Takes it to the lane. Out to Isabella Forster. Drives into the lane, puts it up, it goes in. 38-7, Vikings on top. Vikings have the ball over on the left side. They get it to Olson, to Hajdukovic. She does a little hook and puts it up and it crawls in. 4 points for Jeanette Hajdukovic. Fleischauer with it. Hands it off to Hannah Forster. Over to Isabella Forster. Back out to Fleischauer. Takes it into the lane. Can't get the shot away. Olson comes away with it. Gets it to Hydorn. Hydorn down the right side. Back out to Olson. Olson launches a three off the front of the iron. No good. And down the floor comes Isabella Forster at the top of the key. Gets it over to the left side to Hannah. Hannah takes it into the lane, circles back out. Now back into the lane, puts it up. It doesn't go. Putback shot, no good. That was by Haley Webb, and the Vikings come away. Hydorn with it, feeds it over to the left side to Shipman. Kicks it back out to Hydorn. Hydorn feeds it over to the right side to Anderson, puts up the three, no. Rebound by Lily Webb. Webb feeds it down the floor, and they try to save it in bounds, and the ball's caught by Shipman. She gets it over to Hydorn. Top of the key, feeds it over to the right side. Long three-pointer is no good. Rebound taken down by Lily Webb. Webb gets it over to Fleischauer. She's high, wide, right. Guarded out there by Hydorn. Now she takes it down the right side. Kicks it back out to Hannah Forrester. Over to Isabella Forrester. To Lily Webb. Now to Haley Webb. Ball gets taken away by Hajdukovic. Over to Olsen and then to Hydorn. Hydorn across the timeline. Right into the lane. Stops. Puts it up. No good. Rebound taken away by the Wolves. Fleischauer on the right side. Now feeds it over to Webb. That's Lily Webb. Now down to Isabella Forrester. Now back out to Lily Webb, over to Hannah Forrester on the right baseline. Puts up the shot, no good. Rebound chased down by Haley Webb. And then they get it out for a three-pointer by Isabella Forrester. Hydorn feeds it over to the right side to Shipman. Back out to Hydorn, and we're going to get a whistle. And there's going to be a foul on Olsen away from the ball. That'll be her second personal. First team foul on the Vikings. Fleischauer bringing it down the floor across the timeline for the Wolves. Takes it down the right side. Back out high to Hannah Forrester, to Isabella Forrester. Takes it to the lane. Kicks it out to Lily Webb. Lily Webb feeds it to Hannah Forrester in the lane. Tries to go up with it. She can't get it there. Gets the ball. Takes it back out to Haley Webb. Reverse layup. She gets it up and in. 40-12. Long shot by Anderson, partially blocked, and the Wolves come away with it. Lily Webb with it on the right side. And she was trying to pass it. It went off the foot of Anderson. Ball comes in to Isabella Forrester. They feed it down underneath to Lily Webb. She tries to put a shot up. It's no good. Second attempt, she got fouled by Hajdukovic. That's the second foul on Hajdukovic. First shot goes up. It's no good. Lily Webb at the line. And the second shot is good. 40-13. Wolves have the ball. Bovey feeds it over to Anderson. Back to Bovey between the circles. Back to Anderson. To Hajdukovic. Back to Anderson. She puts up another three. That one's no good. Hajdukovic with the putback. She got it. Jeanette Hajdukovic with 6 points on the night. (42-13), Vikings on top. Isabella Forrester gets it to Hannah Forrester, and she got fouled. I think it's by Goodell with a block. That's a third foul on the Vikings. First foul on Goodell. Wolves get the ball in. This is Haley Webb. Gets it out to Isabella Forrester. Then to Bauer. Bauer down into the left corner to Haley Webb. Then out to Hannah Forrester. Drives to the free throw line, puts a shot up, it rattles in. (42-15), Vikings on top. Bovey gets it over to Goodell. To Nigaman, who tries to put the shot up, but she got fouled. And I think it's going to be on Isabella. It is. It's on Isabella Forrester. That's 4 on her. Second team foul on the Wolves. Nigaman's first shot is good. And her second shot. Rattles around and out. No good. So Hannah Forrester has it over on the left side to Fleischauer between the circles. Tries to feed it underneath to Webb, and the ball got knocked away. Vikings come away with it. Down the floor comes Bovey. Over to Goodell, puts up a 3. She hit it! Kason Goodell with a 3-pointer.
She has 5 points.
And down the floor come the Wolves. Ball gets knocked away. And the Vikings have it over on the right side. They try to feed it underneath. And it gets knocked out of bounds by Hannah Forrester. 3 Vikings into the lineup, but we have a timeout on the floor with 10:06 to go. Vikings 46 and the Wolves 15. You're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV and Viking TV.
Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax has just what you need when you have that craving for a home-cooked meal the way Mom used to make it. Mom's is open from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. daily and until 9 on Fridays with a complete breakfast menu. Lunch includes sandwiches, salads, wraps, and burgers, along with Mom's comfort food favorites, and don't forget dinner on Fridays with Mom's famous fish fry. The coffee always hot, the breakfast always delicious, and lunch puts a smile on your face. 225 Bremer Avenue, Colfax. Call 715-962-4617. That's Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax.
Are your pooch's proportions putting on pounds? Or is your kitty's constitution constantly complaining? Well, stop by and see the friendly folks at the Colfax Animal Hospital. Dr. Bruce Buckley and his staff will be happy to help you get your family friend back on the road to healthy living. That's the Colfax Animal Hospital. Call them at 715-962-3380.
And we're back here at Colfax High School. Rick Olson along with Dan Petchow. Jeff Gust on the camera, and the Vikings with a 46-15 lead. Vikings have the ball. Shipman takes it into the lane, puts a jumper up and in. 10 minutes even to go, 48-15. And down on the floor comes Fleischauer on the right side, feeds it into the lane to Webb. She got double teamed in there, and they're going to say she walked with it. She did a little hop after she caught it.
Yeah, good defense.
Go ahead.
Good defense by number 14, Ainsley Olsen.
Yeah, they were right in her face as soon as she caught the ball, and that caused her to make that hop. Vikings have it at the top of the key to Olsen at the free throw line. Out to Goodell for 3. No. Rebound taken down by the Wolves. Fleischauer has it coming down the right side. Puts it up. No. Put back by Webb is up and in. Haley Webb with the 2-pointer. Quickly down the floor comes Hydorn. She gets it over to Shipman on the left. Back to Hydorn, back to Shipman. Shipman launches a 3. No. Rebound by Shipman. Drives to the hole. She put it up and in. Shipman followed her shot. You young players, that's what you do when you have a long shot. Follow your shot because you can get the rebound and take it right back in. Pass goes underneath. Haley Webb puts it up. Came right back into her hands. She put it back up and in. 50-19. Heidorn over to the right side this time to Shipman, who lays it up and in. 52-19. Shipman has 26. Fleischman with it. She gets it out high to Lily Webb, back to Fleischauer. Fleischauer to Forrester. Forrester tries to lay it up, no good. Ball gets knocked out of bounds by the Vikings. Wolves to inbound. They get it into Fleischauer. Out to Haley Webb. Then to Fleischauer in the right corner. Getting it back out high to Whitty. Whitty to Haley Webb. She feeds it back out high. Three-pointer launched, no good. That was by Fleischauer. And the Vikings have it. Pass to Olsen. Puts the shot up, no good. Off-balance shot. She didn't get a chance to square up. She got herself a little bit too deep that time. Forrester gets it over to Haley Webb. Back out to Hannah Forrester. Over to Whitty. Whitty on the right side gets it to Hannah Forrester. Then to Fleischauer. Drives down the right side of the lane. Lays it up. It crawls up and in. 52-21. Vikings feed it down underneath to Nigaman, puts it up, no good. Shipman, put back, no, it won't go. And down the floor comes Fleischauer. Over to the left side is Hannah Forrester with it. Takes it into the lane, stops, puts it up, no. Rebound, tipped around, out of bounds, last touch by the Wolves. Have some substitutions coming in for the Vikings. We have J.C. Bovey and Jordan Bovey is in. Also Sierra Shipman. She was our Viking profile at halftime. This is Jordan Bovey. Gets it over to Nigaman on the right side. Out to Jordan, long three-pointer, no. Ball gets knocked back in bounds, but not before she had stepped out of bounds first by Sierra Shipman. So the Wolves have it as they come down the floor. Fleischauer loses the handle and is picked up by Nigaman. J.C. Bovey stops at the top of the key, changes directions, takes it into the lane, lays it in. In football, they would say she stuck her foot in the turf and changed direction. That's almost what she did right at the free throw line there. Hannah Forrester feeds it underneath to Webb. That's Lily Webb putting it up and in.
She has 3 points.
And down the floor come the Vikings. Jordan Bovey out between the circles. And we have a whistle. Dan, was that a foul they called?
It was. Reaching.
Okay. That was a foul on Hannah Forrester. It's her third. Cora with it. Feeding it over to the right side to J.C. Bovey. Then to Shipman, to the young Shipman. To Jordan Bovey, out to J.C. To Nigaman, drives into the lane, kicks it back out to Jordan, thought about the three, puts up a two, no, it won't go. Nigaman tries to put it up, got fouled in the process. Autumn Nigaman to the line for two.
Number 12 on the foul.
That's Hannah Forrester. It's her fourth. Fourth team foul on the Wolves. First shot is on the way. It goes in. Little shooter's roll there. Goodell into the lineup for J.C. Bovey for the Vikings. Niggeman's second shot is good. That may be the season high for her. Fleischauer gets it over into the left corner. Long three-pointer goes up, no good. Rebound by Isabella Forrester, feeds it out to Webb. This is Lily Webb. Gets it to Haley Webb. Back out to Lily, then to Haley, and it gets knocked away. Coming away with it are the Vikings, driving down the length of the floor. Shipman, she puts up, it's no good. That's Sierra Shipman that made that trip. And the Wolves come away with the ball. Lily Webb with it. Gets it over to Fleischauer. Then to Whitty on the left side. Now back to Lily Webb, to Izzy Forrester. To Whitty on the left side. Near the perimeter. Feeding it down underneath. Forrester. Izzy Forrester picks it up and the ball got knocked away. Wolves come back with it, and just throwing one up there is Lily Webb, and it happened to go through. 56-25, Vikings on top. Down into the lane, laying the shot up and in by Goodell. And we have a timeout on the floor. 3:36 to go. Vikings 58, Wolves 25, and you're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
January is Financial Wellness Month. Weight loss and physical fitness are common New Year's resolutions, but your finances could probably stand to be leaner as well. Dairy State Bank will post tips all month on Facebook and Twitter to help you get your finances in shape. You can also access a library of information anytime in our online education center. Visit DairyStateBank.com and click on the Education Center under the Resources tab. Dairy State Bank, banking on relationships. Member FDIC.
Vikings with a 58-25 lead, 3:36 remaining in this one. Down the floor come the Wolves. This is Whitty with it, gets it over to the right side to Hannah Forrester, done to Isabella Forrester. She dribbles it back out high. Feeds into the lane to Lily Webb. Tries to feed it down underneath to Haley Webb, who puts it up and in. That's 11 points for Haley Webb. Vikings have it. Goodell with it at the top of the key. Feeds it over to the right side to Shipman. Her three-pointer comes up short, and the Wolves come away with it. They feed it over to Isabella Forrester, and she got her pocket picked. Jordan Bovey, and a coast-to-coast run for Jordan Bovey. 60-27. Vikings by 33. Lily Webb with it. Spins, feeds it into the lane. Then they kick it out high. Ball gets tapped, but picked up by the Wolves. Whitty with it. To Isabella Forrester. She's at the free throw line. Feeds it over to the right side to Haley Webb. Back out to Izzy in the corner. And to Hannah Webb, or Hannah Forrester. And as she spun, she got fouled. Foul's going to be on Bryn Sikora. It's her first. Fourth team foul on the Vikings. Niggeman goes out. J.C. Bovey into the lineup. Fleischauer for the Wolves. Gets it to Izzy Forrester. Ball got stolen away by the Wolves on the rebound. Putback shot was no good, and then we get a whistle and a foul. as the Vikings had the ball, and then she got fouled by Haley Webb. J.C. Bovey bringing it across the timeline. She was the victim of that foul. Feeding it over to Goodell. High, wide, and right. Over to the left side. Tried to get it over to Shipman. She chased it back down. Over to J.C. Bovey, to Goodell. Goodell loses the handle on it. But trying to get it back is Goodell, and they got a tie up on the floor. You know, Dan, you made a comment during the JV game. The Viking teams always seem to be really scrapping on the floor and so on. That was a good example. That's not an unusual situation that we see the Vikings in.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if they're freshmen or seniors. They're always playing till the end.
Or as you tell a football player, you play to the whistle. Pass into the lane, tied up again underneath. Jump ball, possession arrow in favor of the Wolves. Couple of substitutions for the Wolves. Maddie Kopp into the lineup. And Ellie Maxwell. Wolves have the ball. Whitty with it on the right side. Tries to feed it out to Maxwell. Back to Whitty. Top of the key. Gets it up to Fleischauer. Tries to feed it over to the left side. Ball got knocked loose, and Goodell gets her hands on it and then got tied up, and it's a jump ball. Possession arrow in favor of the Vikings. J.C. Bovey on the dribble, right through the center circle. Under a minute to go. Feeding it out high to Jordan Bovey. They swing it around to the left side. Jordan Bovey has it. Then to Shipman. Then to Sikora. Now it's out to Goodell. Vikings going to try to kill the clock. Shipman with the ball on her hip, 15 seconds to go. Now they swing it back over to the right side. Goodell on the dribble. She brings it back out high. 7 seconds left. And the Vikings are going to just let it happen. And there it is. Final score, Vikings 60 and the Elmwood Plum City Wolves 27. That makes the Viking record this season 10-2. As they'll be getting ready for a battle with Glenwood City coming up on Thursday night. And we'll have some more about this game in Viking postgame, and that'll be coming up right after this timeout. You're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Join us on NLWN-2 for exciting Colfax High School boys basketball.
This is what we came here for!
Our next game will be on Thursday, January 12th, when the Vikings travel to Elk Mound to take on the Elk Mound Mounders. Live coverage on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and on NLWN-2 begins with Viking pregame at 6:50 p.m. That's live Colfax Viking boys basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-2 on Thursday, January 12th.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. Alright, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight. Both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand, trying to text somebody back. Because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
Thank you for joining us for Colfax Viking Girls Basketball. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Stay tuned. Coming up next is Viking Post Game, where we'll take a look back at today's Viking game.
The central and midwestern U.S. averages more than 850 tornadoes each year, and lately, the number of floods has been rising in the region too. So chances are, there will be more twisters and floods near here again. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are, you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has all the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Time now for Viking postgame, with a wrap-up of today's Colfax Viking Girls game. And now, Viking postgame.
And we're back here at Colfax High School. Rick Olson along with Dan Petschow. Jeff Gus doing the camera work for us tonight. And the Vikings come away with a 60-27 victory over the Elmwood Plum City Wolves. And Dan, pretty much domination from start to finish by the Vikings.
Yeah, you know, Colfax just had to do what they had to do to get the win tonight. You know, everybody play together and play good defense. And once you get the lead like that, you just got to hold it. And another game where we had 9 girls with points for Colfax tonight. Another deep bench, and you put that all together, and you can definitely get the win.
And one of the differences in this game is the quickness of the Vikings compared to that of the Wolves. We were kind of noticing that in the JV game as well. The Wolves are a step slower than the Vikings, and the Vikings were getting to things quicker. Wolves did a little better job in the second half because I think the Vikings backed off a little in the second half. But nonetheless, the Wolves were a little better on their passing and so on, and they had to be. They scored 24 points in the second half compared to 3 in the first half.
Yeah, good job by the coach tonight. I think it was Paige Senator for Elmwood Plum City. Yeah, she did a good job in the second half, getting these girls, keeping them in the game, you know, and getting points.
And being able to finish the game and hold their heads high.
Right.
And, you know, they are the other team, but these are high school kids, and we don't want to forget about that it's fun for all of them, and you don't want to see anybody really embarrassed by it.
Yeah, you know what? And if you're in the Dunsink Cord Conference, teams got to come through Colfax, and Colfax and Elk Mound, you know, are the 2 teams everybody looks at right now, and
I'll tell you what, nobody better lay down on these Elmwood Plum City Wolves. They did knock off earlier this season the Glenwood City Hilltoppers by the score of 65-9. So they can play some pretty tough defense. Colfax's quickness is what got them through this, and they worked on a lot of their finding the open player and hitting the cutting player and so on.
Yeah, I noticed that in the first half of the first half, that Elmwood Plum City defense really was wreaking havoc with Colfax's offense, trying to get inside, but Colfax figured it out in the second half.
And it did give the Vikings a chance to work on some of that and overcome those difficulties that Elmwood Plum City caused. I'll tell you what, we're waiting for Coach Serrar. She should be up here before too long, and as we do, we'll take this quick time out as you're tuned to Viking Postgame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Join us at the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV for exciting Colfax High School Girls Basketball. Our next game will be on Friday, January 13th, when the Vikings will travel to Glenwood City to take on the Glenwood City Hilltoppers. Live coverage on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and on NLWN-TV begins with Viking pregame at 6:50 p.m. That's live Colfax Viking Girls Basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV on Friday, January 13th.
And we're back here at Colfax High School, and joining us up here is Viking head coach Courtney Serrar. And congratulations, Coach. This is one of those that you could kind of sit back, smile, and get your players in and get them some time.
Yeah, I thought, first half I thought we played really well. We held them to 3 points, and that's pretty impressive defensively. So, I thought we did lots of good things. We moved the ball well against their zone and their man. Got a lot of good looks, and a lot of people contributed to the box score.
And you made the comment that you held them to 3 points. They did not score a field goal in the first half. That says your defense is playing some pretty stingy ball.
Yeah, I thought, we really worked together as a team, and, I think we've always been able to defend, but, it seemed to be going well for us tonight, but we got to just continue to get better.
And you also want to make sure that when you get a big lead like that the girls don't back off too much, because other teams are going to take advantage of that and get right back into it, like almost happened last weekend up in Hayward, and you sure don't want that to happen.
Yeah, for sure. I think we always just have to continue to play our basketball and not worry about what the other team's doing or what the score is or stuff like that, and just make sure that we're always playing and defending at a high level.
Well, congratulations again. You're now 10-2 overall, and what is that? 4-1 in the Dun St. Croix, I think, or something like that. It's too early to worry about that. Just as long as you keep winning, that's what counts. And Glenwood City coming up on Friday.
Yep.
And so we'll be all ready for that. Thank you for joining us, and we'll have more Viking Postgame coming up right after this timeout. You're tuned to Viking Postgame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
The Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN2 are proud to announce that this spring they will be your viewing home for Eau Claire Cowboys football. Check out www.northernlightwebcastingnetwork.com for times and dates. That's Eau Claire Cowboy football on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN2.
And we're back here at Colfax High School. Rick Olson, along with Dan Petchow, Jeff Gust on the camera. And Dan, the Vikings came out on top 60-27. Why don't you tell us how we got there?
Here's the scores for Elmwood Plum City tonight. Their leading scorer was number 3, Haley Webb with 11 points, followed by Isabel Forster with 5. We had Lily Webb with 5. We had Hannah Forster with 4, and Allison Fleischauer with 2. For the Colfax Vikings, they're led tonight by number 42, McKenna Shipman. She had 26. Followed by Autumn Nigelman with 11. We had Kason Goodell with 7. We had Jeanette Hajdukovic with 6. And we had Jada Anderson, Jordan Bovey, Ainsley Olson, JC Bovey, and Molly Hydorn with 2 points each. So 9 girls with points for Colfax.
And as you mentioned, that's a real nice job of spreading things out. So the Vikings have to get ready to take on Glenwood City, who have been struggling this year. As you mentioned when we were off the air, the one thing that could be really dangerous for the Vikings coming up is having a mental letdown. And they've got to stay strong, stay ready, and take care of business when they play Glenwood City.
Yeah, every team's going to come out and try to beat Colfax, and they just have to stick to their system next game and, just get their win and get ready for the next one.
So don't forget to join us here on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV on Friday, January 13th. That is Friday the 13th, but we won't worry about that as the Viking girls travel to Glenwood City to take on the Glenwood City Hilltoppers. That is a Dun St. Croix Conference matchup. Live coverage will begin with Viking pregame beginning at 6:50, and that'll be followed by all the live play-by-play action. That's Colfax Girls Basketball on Friday, January 13th on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Also, don't forget to join us on NLWN-2 and the Northern Light Webcasting Network on Thursday, January 12th, as the Viking boys travel to Elk Mound. This ought to be a good one, as they're going to be taking on the Elk Mound Mounders in a Dunn St. Croix Conference battle. Elk Mound just got beat last night, 46-45 by the Fall Creek Crickets, so both teams come into that game with 6-3 records. This could be a fun one. Our coverage will begin with Viking pregame at 6:50, and that'll be followed by all the live play-by-play action. That's Colfax boys basketball on Thursday, January 12th on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-2. And don't forget that the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV are excited to once again be your home for Eau Claire Cavalier baseball. Follow the Cavaliers throughout the 2023 season on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Also, Eau Claire has a semi-new, semi-pro football team, the Eau Claire Cowboys. Now, the Cowboys did exist, but they had to kind of shut down due to COVID, and so this is a rebirth of the Cowboys under new ownership, new management, and NLWN-2, along with the Northern Light Webcasting Network, are excited to be your broadcast home for the Eau Claire Cowboys. You can follow the Cowboys throughout the 2023 season on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-2. Now, tonight's Colfax High School basketball game is brought to you by the Colfax Animal Hospital. Let Dr. Buckley and his friendly staff take care of your pet. Dairy State Bank, where they're banking on relationships. Midwest Environmental Consultants, soil testers for the Chippewa Valley. Anderson Bridges, who have been manufacturing prefabricated steel truss bridges since 1989. Slayton's Technology, IT provider for the Northern Light Webcasting Network. Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax, comfort food the way Mom used to make it. And Fit Fam Nutrition of Colfax, with drinks that taste as good as their names sound, plus they're healthy. Be sure to thank these fine sponsors for bringing you Colfax Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network, NLWN-TV, and Viking TV. So for Dan Petschow and Jeff Gust, this is Rick Olson. That final score, once again, Vikings 60, the Elmwood Plum City Wolves 27. You've been tuned to Viking Postgame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
You've been listening to Viking Postgame, a wrap-up of today's Colfax Viking Girls game. You can catch Colfax Vikings games by tuning in to any of the Northern Light Webcasting Network outlets. This has been a production of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.